Good evening, Jesse. How are you doing this afternoon?
Doing well. Doing well.
Good. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. It was a productive day.
Good. How was it productive?
Studying for a test on Thursday. Examination, rather.
Okay, so you're studying for an examination on Thursday, correct?
Correct.
What time is the examination?
8 a.m.
Okay, good. What class is it?
Maternal health. So it's not called maternal health, but it's over infants and neonatal resuscitation, etc.
Mm-hmm. So what do you enjoy most about this class?
Well, clinical rotations were pretty good. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite classes, but it was definitely interesting. I can say that.
Okay, so talk to me about the clinical rotations.
Maternal or just in general throughout nursing school?
Beginning with maternal, then overall nursing school.
Well,
let me pause you right here. So you've been in the program how long?
This is my third semester.
This is your third semester? Okay, so when do you anticipate graduating?
May 2017.
May 2017. Great, good. So what do you plan on doing after you graduate?
Well, I'd like to go traveling nursing, but they require 2-year experience, so I'll probably find a hospital, medical surgical floor to do my 2 years of just, getting into the field and then probably go traveling.
Okay. So what do you look forward to most when traveling?
Just, to be honest, I was born in a small town, didn't really see much, and I feel like this is my opportunity to not only get paid, but travel some. So, it's I would consider it somewhat selfish, but at the same time, I'm going to be helping others, so it sounds like a win-win.
Right. Okay. So go back to telling me about the clinical rotations in this class and maternal, and then the overall clinical experience you've had thus far in the program.
Okay. Well, maternal, it was definitely quite insightful and I'd say peculiar experience. Being one of the only males in the cohort and then going into a setting where it's specifically female anatomy and etc. Kind of was out of my comfort zone, but as a nurse, we're often put in that, and I felt like I adapted adequately for where I should be now. For the other clinical rotations, which are the med surge, I really enjoy those. My first experience, first semester, wasn't so good. I thought about dropping out the first day of clinical, but luckily I talked it over and got it together. And now I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a wonderful experience.
So initially, when going into the whole clinical process, it was uncomfortable, as you were the only male, and it was just something new for the most part. So you were pretty anxious about that, correct?
Oh, definitely.
Right, that's understandable. So what do you look forward to throughout the rest of the semester?
Oh, well, there's a huge, what they call it, like capstone, or, it's an exam that you have to pass in order to go to the next semester. So I'll say that's something that I'm looking forward to because it's kind of like it's coming up really soon.
Yeah.
But just next semester we do like preceptorships where we're actually, we don't go as a group to clinical. It's just me and the nurse. So there's going to be a lot more writing, a lot more responsibility. So I'm really looking forward to that and seeing how I adapt and how I, my overall competency, I would say.
Right. So you're looking forward to actually working more with another professional, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm looking for that, but I think it's more for me trying to see if I'm able to function solely on my own, which, with the autonomy of with nursing, I just want to see if I'm able to.
Right. So do you feel well prepared?
Well prepared. Can you define that?
Yes. I'm sorry about that. Do you feel as though the clinical experiences thus far will assist you in what you will be doing once you graduate?
Okay. Yeah. Definitely will assist me, but I feel like more clinical experience could be, implemented, et cetera. But, I've seen a lot of things in my short 3 semesters, and I feel comfortable with things, but there's other things that I haven't seen and that are are high risk, and something that the acuity is higher, but I feel like that next semester with preceptorship, I'll be able to, see those things, be more hands-on. So I feel like definitely it'll carry over into when I start my career.
Right. And speaking of starting a career, I know you mentioned traveling nursing. Were there any particular places that you were looking at geographically?
Hmm. Too many to really name, but just Florida has always been an option. I just I don't know, something about Florida I've always wanted to go, and I know Atlanta is definitely an option, and well, like I said, it's more for the first 2 years, but really I don't have a limit. I would like to go as far as I could, as many places as I can, as long as I'm young, able, and
Right.
have the opportunity.
Right. So it doesn't really matter where in the United States or anywhere in the world that you would go. You would just want to travel for the most part after the initial first 2 years, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what is it about? I know you mentioned Atlanta and Orlando. Well, Florida first. What is it? What do you think it is about the state of Florida that appeases you for the most part
Hmm.
to want to work there? That is.
Well, I mean, it's that tropical kind of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been told throughout my life that, they're like, yeah, you must be from Miami. And I'm like, if only you knew, I'm from a small town. So I guess I'm kind of influenced from societal, peers, etc. But I think it would be a nice addition. Um, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Very much true. Very much true. Okay. So what do you? I know nursing school can be very stressful. What do you do to alleviate the stress for the most part?
Well, I think some of the most common, that's the most common like questions that you'd ask any nurse student. Like, you're under a lot of stress. How do you deal with it? Quite frankly, first two semesters, I'm not really sure if I dealt with it. I think it was kind of just like suppressed and just
Right.
moved forward. I really don't know the correct answer. I think it's individualized per person, but
Correct.
you got to make sure that you. Well, this is from my understanding, and what has worked for me is that just have time to yourself. They say that you can't really don't party and all that stuff, and that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying more of like just take time to yourself, do the things you like.
Right. Right. So you're saying more of a balance.
Yes,
Have more of a
yes,
balance. Correct.
equilibrium for sure.
Right. Right. So what are some of the things that you did to cope with? I mean, the daily or the natural stressors of nursing school.
Well, I've always been physically active. I enjoy lifting weights, so that's something where I go and I'm able to put some aggression off. Not think about what's happened throughout the day. It's just a time where my mind's quiet, per se. Uh, some of the stress is caused by just the amount of information that's given to us in one period.
Right. Right.
So talking with other members of my cohort and learning like that they're going through the same stress. It's just we hang out, we talk about it, and we laugh about some things that that stresses us all out, and it's kind of it's therapeutic in that sense.
So do you think spending time with your cohort outside of the classroom is healthy for you?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
I would agree with that.
Would you say that it is something that every individual that's in the cohort should do
Hmm.
or should try to do?
I mean, yeah, I definitely I think you should be social. I mean, you're going into a social field. Like
Mhm.
you can't if you're non-social going into nursing. I feel like not that you can't do it. It's going to be a tough
Mhm.
job. Because like 50% or maybe it's probably even more. It's probably like 70% of the job is actually like therapeutic communication as far as like talking, comforting patients, stuff like that. Like so. I feel like if the antisocial just wouldn't work
Right.
in this
So,
field.
right. Thank you. So thus far, you mentioned two things. You mentioned working out, relieving some aggression, and spending time with your cohort, being sociable. Were two things that alleviate the natural stressors from nursing school.
Right.
Was there anything else that you do, like I don't know, play video games or read?
Yeah, I do. I don't play video games much, but I do play some, and that helps
Okay.
out. It's just it's another time where my mind is not focused on that, and it's kind of it's a diversion tactic, I guess I
Right.
would say.
Right.
Um, let's see. Yeah, those are the major ones. I'm pretty sure there's like small, uh, smaller ones that just I can't really think of, because
Right.
I'm talking to you, but
Right. So I guess another small one would be, I guess, eating right
oh, definitely, yeah. I mean,
or eating properly, eating the right amount of meals per day. And would you also say sleep?
oh yeah, sleep. That's in nursing school. You find out the sleep's it's a privilege. It's not really, and where you're supposed to, it's supposed to be a necessity. It's a privilege to sleep, because you get so far behind, But naps, that's a great one. Naps are definitely,
Right.
just like I said, but it's all diversion. Like you go to sleep and you're knocked out for a few hours, and you're not thinking about it, and then you wake back up and get to it. It's just kind of you become accustomed to the way
Right.
of.
Right. And how often do you usually nap, and for how long? How long is the duration of a nap?
It varies depending
Varies.
on what day of the week.
Right.
Monday through Friday, it's probably from 2 to 4 hours. I usually set my alarm for 30 minutes and wind up sleeping 4 hours. But I do on average usually wake up around 6 to 7 a.m. Every day, so and then go to sleep around 1 2 usually.
Right. Okay. So during the week, it ranges from about 2 to 4 hours, and on the weekends, it just varies for the most part.
Right.
Right. Okay. Good. Good. So I remember you mentioning relieving some aggression when you're in the gym. Where do you think this aggression originates from? Is it from school? Is it from outside forces? If you don't feel comfortable talking about it, we do not have to.
Nah, I'm pretty open. I would say that not all the aggression stems from nursing school alone. Like I said, I mentioned before, sometimes I suppress things, put them to the side. I'm pretty sure it's from childhood. It's just stuff that you don't realize, stimulated aggression or anything like that. But it might be some suppression and nursing school, combined.
If you don't mind, I want to kind of dive into that. Try to seek out something that may be troubling you and you not be aware. So, stressors from your childhood. Is there anything that you can remember that instantly, when you think about it, it incites this aggression, or it provokes this sense of, I want to say, I don't know, I want to say either aggression or anxiety for the most part.
Okay, well, I would say, like I said, the aggression. I'd say it's a different kind of aggression because when I visualize aggression, I think it's more of like physical, physical aggression where I just get angry and start, you know, breaking things,
Hmm.
physically
Right, right.
aggressive. But I think it's more like emotionally aggressive would
Hmm.
be for me. Um,
So more on the lines of anxiety, correct?
yeah, that's
Okay.
it. That's what I was getting to. I have a lot of anxiety about a lot of things that normal people probably, or I shouldn't say normal people, but majority of people wouldn't be anxious about. Sometimes I'll sit and I'll just be anxious for no reason, and it's almost like a feeling of impending doom type,
Hmm.
uh, and kind of just comes over me. It's not, I can't really put a finger on it. Like I can say that some days I wake up and it's a really good day in the morning, and that's usually an indicator that I'm gonna like trickle down in the evening. Like, and I'm not really sure why that is.
Right.
But that's something I've noticed, but that's happened since I started nursing school. So maybe it's more of like uh, the sun going down, depression, and I've been inside all day type deal.
Mm. Gotcha. Gotcha. So on a typical day, what do you think your natural stressors would be?
Hmm. Natural stressors. Um, does that involve like schools or like
Yes. All right.
school?
Let's just say it is a Wednesday, 6 a.m.
Wednesday, 6 a.m. All right.
Walk
Well,
me through your day.
6 a.m. I'm usually up 6 a.m. 7. Go do cardio. So initially I'm stressed, but that's self-inflicted. So
Hmm.
finishing a 40-minute cardio session, that's a stressor. But after that, I feel pretty good.
Okay. So do
Um,
you think after the cardio session is over, you feel less stressed?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So on a
For
scale of 1 to 10, you would rate that as on a 1 being least anxious or least stressful to 10 being most stressful.
oh yeah, I'm definitely 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
One or
Okay.
two.
Okay.
at that moment after.
Okay. So you finish the cardio session. What
Okay.
happens after that?
I usually go get something to eat. So I'd say it's a minor stressor deciding what I want to eat. After that, Wednesday I don't have class, so I have the stress of I got to be in the library all day because I got to study. So Mondays and Wednesdays are the days that I probably, if you were looking for me on campus, I'm in the library from 10 to 10.
10 to 10.
10
Okay.
to 10.
So in that period, what would you rate your stress level at that point?
Well, it slowly, it progressively increases throughout the day. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think it gradually increases throughout the day?
I would probably say just, like I said, that overwhelming feeling. Like even though I start studying, it's just like I start thinking about everything at one time. And I start thinking about maybe I forgot something before, or I didn't cover enough and things before, and everything just kind of kind of weighs down on me.
Right. So what I want to do is I want to set some goals for the next time that you come in. So let's just say on a typical day, you do cardio for the most part every day, correct?
Right.
Okay. So on a typical day, you would do cardio and pretty much no stress until you go get something to eat, correct?
Right.
Realistically, doing cardio and then getting something to eat provide no stress because you do them every day.
Right.
Right? Okay. Unless there's anything else that provides stress when you do cardio. No.
Not stress that really that even registers.
Okay.
Like nothing that's.
Okay. So because what I'm getting at is that this stress might be attributing to other stressors. So what you want to do, ideally, think about it in a way that this provides me no stress, and I'm not really stressing until 10 to 10.
So kind of like modifiable.
Right.
Stress.
And so when you move towards that 10 a.m., you say it gradually progresses. Well, let's think about it like this. If you're gradually studying, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Gradually going over information, you're gradually learning stuff, you're gradually retaining this amount of information, you're also gradually knocking out information. So if you're gradually increasing your level of stress or level of anxiety, then you can start to think, well, hey, I've gotten this much done as well.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, I want you to, how do you study? Do you study with a... Well,
it varies depending on, I have multiple methods of madness when it comes to study. So.
Okay. So have you ever thought about implementing just a checklist?
I definitely have a checklist. I actually made one for my study today. List my chapters, content, and I have boxes, and I check them off once I complete each task.
Good. So let's use that. Let's use that checklist, and let's say you can write a sticky note that says, I've gotten this done. No stress.
Right.
No stress zone. # no stress zone. Or something like that. Something that's catchy that makes you conceptualize that, okay, well, I've gotten this done. I don't need to be stressed about it.
Right.
You think that would help you out?
I'm out for new ideas all the time. So,
Good.
I'm pretty sure, like I said, majority of my anxiety is in my head anyway. So if I visualize it or see it, then I'm pretty sure it'll reduce. Because I know in the back of my head, the sticky note it says this. So I feel like it would be a useful tactic.
Good. Okay. Well, did you feel like this was helpful for you?
Oh, it's definitely therapeutic. I enjoy speaking with other professionals.
Good. Well, thank you for coming and sharing with me today, this afternoon. Look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Look forward to seeing you.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.